Welcome students for today's lecture. So in this video we're gonna learn about Kirchhoff's law, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law and then Kirchhoff's current law. So in our previous lecture we saw the basic electrical quantity like what is charge, current, voltage, power, energy, and what are all the units, and we saw some basic examples, and we move to elements. So what is active element and what is passive elements? For example, for active elements we saw the independent sources, and then for passive element as an example we saw about resistance. Okay, then we move to Ohm's law. So Ohm's law nothing but V equal to IR, that is at constant temperature, and then Ohm's law is applicable only to good conductors and linear circuits with temperature maintaining is constant, and it is not hold good for semiconductor devices or any devices which has non-linear characteristics, and then insulators, thermistor, electrolyte. So and then we saw some examples based on Ohm's law. Okay, so these are the things we covered in our previous lecture. So today, before moving to Kirchhoff's voltage law and current law, so we have to know the basics of a circuit, that is what is node, what is branch, and what is loop. For example, if you take this circuit, so in this circuit we have branches, loops, nodes. So if you know what is branch, what is loop, what is node, then it is easy to understand the Kirchhoff's law and it is easy to apply the same. Okay, so first of all, what is branch? So branch is nothing but any single element. Okay, if you take any circuit or if you take any appliances, so the branch is nothing but a single element. So in this circuit you take 10 volt source, so this is a single element, so this is a branch. And similarly 5 ohm resistor, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, and 2 ampere current source. So each element is considered as a branch. Okay, or simply we can say a branch represent any two terminal element. So it has two terminals. For example, if you take 10 volts, so it has two terminals, so one for positive and another for negative. Similarly for this current, so one is starting and one one is at ending, so this point. Okay, so next one, so node. So node is nothing but point of connection between two or more branches. For example, for example, here 10 volt is a branch and 5 ohm is a branch. So this connecting point here, this is called as node. Similarly, 5 ohm and 2 ohm, that is connected at this point. So this is considered as node. And similarly, you can take here. So if you take the lower point, this side, so 10 volt, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, and 2 ampere, all are connected to a single point. So I am saying that is a single point, but in figure we have 4 dots. Okay, but these 4 dots are connected as a short circuit. So short circuit is nothing but we connect any 2 points with direct straight line, so without any interruption of any other elements, so then it can be considered as a short circuit. Okay, so here these 4 points are connected as short circuit, then it can be considered as a single node. So that's why I have mentioned, if a short circuit connects two nodes or two or more nodes, then it can be taken as a single node. So this circuit has 3 nodes. So next, what is loop? So loop represent a closed path. For example, the starting point and ending point should be same. So if here A, and so just a minute guys. So here we can draw a loop starting from A, so then to B, from B to again this point, and then it is closing. Okay, so if any circuit we have some closed path, then that can be considered as a loop. Similarly, if you take here, that is in between 2 ohm and 3 ohm, so here it forming a closed path. So that is the starting point and then ending point, so both should be same, so that will be considered as a loop. So in loop we have an independent loop. So a loop can be considered as independent if it has at least one branch. Okay, at least one branch which is not a part of another loop. Okay, so here we have two loops. So one is formed by 10 volt, 5 ohm, 2 ohm, and another one is formed by 2 ohm and 3 ohm. Both are independent loops because you can see, so 5 ohm and 10 ohm, 10 volt, so both are not present in this loop. Similarly, 3 ohm is not present in this loop. So these two loops are considered as independent loops. So for example, if you take any network or any circuit, if it has a B branches, N nodes and L independent loops, then it will satisfy a fundamental formula or fundamental theorem, that is B is equal to L plus N minus 1. Branch is equal to sum of your independent loops and then nodes minus 1. Okay. So we will see this circuit in detail in the next slide. So take this as an example. So here we have totally 5 number of branches, that is 10 volt, 5 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm and then 2 ampere. So totally we have 5 number of branches. And then if you take nodes, so this circuit diagram can be redrawn like this, because I said right. So if you have 3.3 nodes which are short circuited, that can be considered as a single node. So this was redrawn like this. So instead of 3 dots, we just have only one dot that connecting 5 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 2 ampere to a single point. Similarly, in the bottom line, so here we have 4 points, so which are connecting the negative terminal of 10 volt, 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 2 ampere. So this can be written like this. So here C, which is connecting the negative terminal of 10 volt and the N terminal of 2 ohm, 3 ohm and then 2 ampere. So instead of telling we have 8 number of nodes, by rewriting the circuit we can simply say we have only 3 nodes, it is A, B and C. Okay, so here A joins 5 ohm and 10 volt and B joins 5 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 2 ampere and C joins 10 volt, 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 2 ampere. Okay, so if you take independent loops, so here we have 3 loops, 3 independent loops. So one is this point, that is 10 volt, 5 ohm, 2 ohm, so around this one, and next loop is around 2 and 3 ohm, that one is 3 and 2 ampere. So these are the 3 independent loops, or you can simply take this diagram. So this one forms a closed loop and this one forms a closed loop and this one forms a closed loop. So totally we have 3 loops. So one is A, B, C, A. Okay, so another one is B and C. So B and C means 2 ohm and 3 ohm, so this one, and another one is B and C, which is connecting 3 ohm and 2 ampere. Okay, so these are the available independent loops. So we saw a formula, right? So B is equal to N plus L minus 1. So if you just substitute the values, 5 is equal to 3 plus 3 minus 1, that is equal to 5. So the theorem was proved. So let us try this example on your own. Just pause the video and try on your own. You have to find number of branches, independent loops and nodes. Just pause the video because we don't have provision to skip the things as a quiz. Okay, so for that you just pause and try it on your own and just check the answer. So if you take the solution, so here we have 4 branches, that is 10 volt, 5 ohm, 6 ohm and then 2 ampere. So totally we have 4 branches. If you take number of nodes, 10 volt and 5 ohm, so here we have one node. So 10 ohm and 5 volt, so here we have one node, and 5 and 6 ohm, so connecting at this point. So this is a one node and the same point was connected to 2 ampere. So this is considered as a single node. And similarly here we have common point where all the 3 terminals are connecting. So this can be considered as another node. So number of node is 1, 2 and this one is 3. So totally number of node is 3. Okay, similarly we have loops, 2 loops. So one was starting from 10 volt to ending at 10 volt. So this is one loop and another one is between 6 ohm and 2 ampere. So this is another loop. So this will be your answer. So number 1, so node 1, node 2, node 3 and loop 1, loop 2, and we have branches of 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so next question. So similarly try on your own, just pause the video and try on it your own. Okay, so here we have totally 5 branches. So 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 10 volt, 4 ohm, 5 ohm. So totally we have 5 branches. If you take nodes means, so this will form a single node because this point connects 5 ohm and 2 ohm, and the same point was connecting 5 ohm, 1 ohm and 2 ohm. So this is short circuited, hence it can be considered as a single node. Similarly here, so 5 ohm and 10 volt connecting at this point. Similarly 4 ohm is connecting at the same point because here short circuited. So this is considered as a one node and this is considered as a another node, second node, and here this can be considered as a third node. So number of node is 3. Similarly loop is 1 2. So here we have one loop and here one individual loop and here one individual loop. So number of loop is 3. So this will be your answer. Number of branches 5, independent loops 3, and number of nodes is 3. Okay, so if you want to substitute the formula, you can substitute. So b is equal to n plus l minus 1, that is 3 plus 3 minus 1, which is equal to 5. So 5 and 5 same. Okay, so just the circuit diagram which gives the answer. So number of nodes 1 2 3. Okay, so now we can move to Kirchhoff's law because we know the basics of what is node, what is loop, what is branch. So now that is Kirchhoff's current law. So Kirchhoff's current law is mainly based on node. So we will discuss about the node current. Okay. So Kirchhoff's current law is based on the law of conservation of charge. So law of conservation of charge is nothing but if you take any isolated system, the charge inside will be constant. Okay. If you didn't add any charge from outside, so inside the system the charge will be always constant. So that is the base for this law. So this law tells that the algebraic sum of charges within a system cannot change. That is law of conservation of charge, stating that the algebraic sum of the charges within a system cannot change unless you add anything from outside. So Kirchhoff's current law states that the algebraic sum of current, okay, so currents, so whatever number of currents, so entering a node is 0. So if you take a node, if you add the currents which are entering the node, then the sum will be equal to 0. So we can mathematically represent this as a summation of in is equal to 0, where n is equal to 1 to n. So I represent your node current, so n represent the which node, so it's from first node or second node, or sorry, which current, first current or second current or third current, and n represent number of branches. So if the node has 5 branches connected, then n is equal to capital N is equal to 5. So n represents number of branches connected to the load, and n small n represents the nth current entering or leaving the node. So here we have a two options. So from the node the current may enter or current may leave. So here whenever the current entering load, the current can be taken as positive, and whenever the current leaving the node, it can be taken as negative. Okay, so from this we can simply say the entering current will be equal to leaving current. Okay, the sum of the current entering a node is equal to the sum of current leaving the node. So we will see an example to understand it clearly. So just to assume this example, so here we have 5 currents, I1, I2, I3, I4 and I5. Okay, so here we have only one node, right? So this is the only one node. We have 5 number of branches with branch currents I1 to I5. So here just see the arrow. So what are the arrows which indicating the current is entering the node? So I1. So here the arrow is like this. So it is entering the node. So then I4. Here also the arrow is like this. So it is entering your node. Similarly for I3. So I1, I3 and I4. These 3 currents are entering your nodes. Similarly I5. So you draw the arrow. So it is leaving. So it is going from this node. So the I5 is taken as leaving current. Similarly I2. So this is also leaving from the node. So here entering current is I1, I3, I4, and leaving current is I2, I5. So as per Kirchhoff's current law, we can take I1, I3 and I4 as positive and I2 and I5 as negative. So if you write the equation, so this will be like this. So I1 minus I2, I3 plus I4 minus I5. So we have algebraic sum of all the currents. okay, so which will be equal to 0. So this can be rearranged and written as I1, I3, I4, that is entering currents, which will be equal to leaving current. So this is called Kirchhoff's current law. Okay, so let us try another example. So we have a circuit given here. So totally we have three current sources. So I1, I2, I3 and the current IT. So here we have two nodes, right? B. So B is here and A is here. So let us take node A. Okay, node A means this point. So here you can see what are all the current entering or current leaving. Okay, so let us just read for us this point. So let us take this point as node A. So here IT, okay, that is total current. So this is leaving your node. So it is going outside, and I1 it is entering your node. Okay. Similarly, I2 is leaving the node. I3 is entering the node. So if you just apply the Kirchhoff's current law, then the formula will be I1 plus I3 minus I2 minus IT is equal to 0. So or else simply leaving current is equal to incoming current. Okay. So IT and I2 are outgoing or leaving current, I1 and I3 are incoming current, or simply you can write IT, that is total current, is equal to I1 minus I2 plus I3. So minus I2 is because it is leaving your node. So this is a basic concept. The takeaway will be, so you have to take the current value as positive if it is entering the node, and you have to take the current value as negative if it is leaving the node, and you have to sum up all the currents that is either leaving or entering the node. It will be equal to 0. So this is the takeaway from your Kirchhoff's current law. So this will be our answer. Okay. So if you draw an equivalent circuit, so here we have totally three current source which is converted to a single current source, and the value is equal to I1 minus I2 plus I3. Next one, Kirchhoff's voltage law. So here Kirchhoff's voltage law mainly based on conservation of energy, and here we will deal with the loop. Okay, so Kirchhoff's current law mainly focused on node. So Kirchhoff's voltage law mainly focused on loop, that is closed system. So if you take conservation of energy, so if in any closed system, the energy stored will be always constant. Okay, unless we draw or add energy from outside. So that is the concept. So from there we are deriving the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So it states that algebraic sum of all voltage. Okay, so all the voltages around a closed path is 0. So if you take a loop, just add all the voltages connected in the loop, it will be equal to 0. That is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So this is a mathematical representation. So M is equal to 1 to capital M Vm. So Vm is the voltage in the loop. So M represents the number of or nth voltage. Okay. So capital M is the number of voltage in the loop or number of branches as said in Kirchhoff's current law. Okay. So Vm represents the mth voltage. So similarly, so in that we have taken leaving current and entering current. Here also the polarity of your voltage can be taken as either leaving voltage or entering voltage. It is the polarity of your voltage source when it's leaving or when it's entering. So in example I will tell you detail. So we can arrange or we can have the Kirchhoff's voltage law with the help of your current. So here we can apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in two ways. So either by taking the current direction as clockwise, or you have to take the current direction as anti-clockwise. So either way, either it is clockwise or anti-clockwise, the answer will be always equal to 0. That is algebraic sum will be equal to 0. So then we can simply say sum of voltage drops, that is negative voltage, which will be equal to the sum of voltage rises, that is positive voltage. So let us say an example. So here this is a closed loop, right? So we have started from a point, and for example if you start at this point, it again closed at this point. So this is a closed loop. Here we have 4 voltage, so V1, V2, V3 and then V4. Sorry, 5 voltage source, we have V5, sorry. Totally we have 5 voltage source, and here we have taken the current direction as clockwise. So what our assumption is, current is traveling from like this, from V1 to, it is traveling from V2, V3, V4, V5. So this is taken as clockwise, like how our clock rotates. So if you want, you can take anti-clockwise, that is current is traveling from negative, that is V1 to V4 like this. So you can take this also, clockwise or anti-clockwise, but you have to follow the same through for the sum. If you take any sum, you have to take so either clockwise or anti-clockwise. You don't have to mix the same. Okay. So now we can take the clockwise direction. Okay. Now the current can be taken as clockwise direction. We saw, right? So either you have to take the polarity of voltage source at entering point or leaving point. So if the current is traveling like this, okay, so in this direction, so as per clockwise, so this will be your entering point. So negative is the entering point, then the value of V1 is minus V1. So here the entering point is plus, so then plus V2, here plus V3, so here minus V4 and here plus V5. So here I am taking the entering point. So based on that I have given the polarity. If you want to take the leaving point, okay, so then the current will leave at positive terminal because it is entering at negative and it is leaving at positive. So then the value of V1 will be plus V1 minus V2 minus V3 plus V4 minus V5. So it is of your choice. Either you can take the leaving polarity or entering polarity. That's of your choice. But it should be followed throughout the example or throughout the sum. Because if you want to take the leaving voltage here, but here entering voltage, then there will be a mismatch and the answer will be wrong. Okay, so if you want to take the leaving polarity, then it should be followed throughout the sum. So let us take here. So here I am taking the entering polarity. So the answer will be minus V1 plus V2 plus V3 minus V4 plus V5 is equal to 0. Okay. So this can be rearranged as voltage drop because minus 1 can be taken as voltage drop and minus V4 so can be taken as voltage drop. Negative is drop, positive means rise. Voltage drops equal to voltage rise, that is here V2, V3, V5. So these here voltage rise, V1, V4 are voltage drop. So if you want, you can rewrite the equation like leaving point. So if you take this as a leaving point, then the answer will be plus V1 minus V2 minus V3 plus V4 minus V5, which is equal to 0. Again, if you rearrange, you will get the same equation like this. Either you can take leaving or entering. So the takeaway from Kirchhoff's voltage law is, first of all, you got to choose the current direction, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. That is the one thing. Next, you have to take whether polarity of the voltage source at leaving point or entering point. Just sum up the total voltage source, so that will give the answers 0. Okay, so let us see one example. Okay, so here we have 3 voltage source, V1, V2 and V3. The total voltage is equal to VAB. So this is the 4th voltage. So let us just take this as a voltage source and draw as a closed loop. So positive here. So the long terminal indicates the positive and small terminal indicates the negative value. So this is a closed loop path. Now if you take the current as clockwise direction, that is starting from positive from here to, if you take ending at negative, so I am taking the direction as clockwise direction, and here I am taking the entering point as usual. Okay, entering points means, so if the current direction is like this, so here the entering point will be minus VAB, and here the entering point will be plus V1 plus V2 minus V3. Okay, So just if you write the equation, so this will be like this. So minus VAB plus V1 plus V2 minus V3, because I am taking the polarity of entering point. So if you want to rearrange the same, so then it will be equal to VAB plus V3 is equal to V1 plus V2. Okay. So now I want the total voltage VAB, that is this voltage, then it will be equal to V1 plus V2 minus V3. So this can be redrawn like this. So these three voltage sources can be considered as a single voltage source. The value will be equal to V1, V2 minus V3. So from Kirchhoff's law, we have converted any number of voltage source or any number of current source to a single source. In our next lecture video, we will see some numerical problems based on Ohm's law and Kirchhoff's law. Okay. So these are the things covered in our today's lecture. We started with what is branch, node and loop. We saw some two examples on the same. And then we moved to Kirchhoff's current law, that is mainly on node, and it's following the law of conservation of charge. And then we moved to KVL, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So it follows the conservation of energy. And here we are mainly focusing on the voltage drop across around the loops. Okay. So kindly go through the video again. If you have any queries, let me know, and complete the MCQ posted in our classroom. Okay, so that is Moodle classroom. So complete the MCQ for our today's attendance. So these are the reference book we are referring for this subject. Okay, so I will upload the drive link for the same for these two books. Just download the same and work out on some examples and the exercise for your practice. So thank you guys.